Tony and I want to welcome you to our study of the Psalms. We're in Psalm 37, and it's like Psalm 37 squeezes together the Proverbs and the prophets into one 40-verse psalm. So we're going to dig right into it because it's rather lengthy and we don't want you to spend the whole day watching our video. So the very first words out of Psalms say this: Happy are those who reject the advice of evil people, who do not follow the example of sinners or join those who have no use of God. Instead, they find joy in obeying the law of the Lord, and they study it day and night. You'll remember that Psalm chapter 1, verses 1 and 2. Now, the reason why it's so important that we follow God's teaching and his direction, and this psalm will give us information about the good life. The reason why we do that is because the next verse talks about being chaff. So again, Psalm 1 verse 4 says, evil people are not like this. They're like straw or chaff, just worthless something that can only be blown away by the wind. And so if you don't want to be one of those, you need to listen to this psalm. So the psalm, verse 37, begins like this: Don't be worried on account of the wicked. Don't be jealous of those who do wrong. They will soon disappear like grass or chaff or straw that dries up. They'll die like plants that wither. Tony, why don't you take the next section?
Psalms 27, 3 through 4 were the verses that I meditated on today. And these verses present three behaviors that are essential to the good life. They are: trust in the Lord and do good, live in the land and be safe, seek your happiness in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desire. And to break that down a little bit, the first part is trust in the Lord. And today, in 2020, it is a good verse for us to remember that through these difficult times, we continue to trust in the Lord and we continue to do good. We continue to live in the land and be safe. And I'm thinking right now about COVID. Be safe. Wear your masks, social distance, wash your hands. And then seek your happiness in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desire. And that reminded me so much of one of my other favorite verses, Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. And so these verses tell us, seek God first, look to God, do his will, and then we will receive all the desires of our heart.
That's right. Thank you. And that is so right. So Tony and I are doing something together, and that is we're picking a verse or a phrase out of a verse to think about all day long. We'd recommend that you do that too, that you take this psalm. We're going to give you some thoughts here, but you take this psalm and work on a verse or a phrase. And so I actually am going to do that on the next, which is verses 5 and 6 of Psalm 37. Before I get there, let me give you one of my favorite verses, which is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7, which says, leave all your worries with him because he cares for you. Isn't that amazing? We can leave all the worries of 2020, all the anxieties, all the fears, maybe all the anger. We can leave it with him because he cares for us. So Psalm 27, 5 and 6 says, 37, says, give yourself to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will help you. He will make your righteousness shine like the noonday sun. And so my meditation today, Tony, is to give myself to the Lord and to fully trust in him. He will do that. Why don't you take the next section?
As we've talked about, we are living in very troubled times. And so sometimes we have worry, anxiety, envy, anger, and other emotions that may take over our lives. But instead, we need to look at the Psalms. And this is what God tells us in Psalms 27, 7 through 9. Be patient and wait for the Lord to act. Don't be worried about those who prosper or those who succeed in their evil plans. Don't give in to worry or anger. It only leads to trouble. Those who trust in the Lord will possess the land, but the wicked will be driven out. And again, those verses tell us, be patient. Throughout the Bible, God tells us to be patient and wait on him because his timing is perfect.
Right.
And usually during those waiting times is when we grow. And so God has something that He's doing, and we just need to be patient and we need to trust in Him. And then we know that there will be victory in the end. And the Proverbs tell us to trust in the Lord with all our heart.
Right. You got it. Thank you. By the way, Tony and I are using notes, and in our notes I've typed 27 instead of 37. Go to 37. We say 27 occasionally.
It is. Well, yeah, my note says 20.
Yeah. I have failed, so in case you all wondering,
Sorry.
go to 37. Yeah. So in the Beatitudes, Jesus said in the King James Version, "Blessed are the meek, for they'll inherit the earth." Matthew 5:5. And that phrase actually came right out of Psalm 37. We're going to read that in just a second, but I want to talk to you about the word meek. Meek is in our day means somebody who's weak, or somebody who's like Casper milk toast, or a doormat to wipe your feet on. The better translation now is those who have been humbled. So Jesus says, blessed are those who have been humbled by life, whether they've been through oppression or illness or some sort of other adversity. Blessed are those who've been humbled by life. God's got your back. He knows where you are. He cares for you. He's working for you. So here's what the psalmist has to say in Psalm 37, verses 10 and 11. Soon the wicked will disappear. You may look for them, but you won't find them. But the humble, those who have been humbled by life, they will possess the land. That's a phrase saying, God's got your back. God's got you. God's caring for you. It may not be in the here and now, but it will definitely be in the hereafter. Enjoy prosperity and peace. Thank you so much for being a part of this today with us. Please pick one of these phrases and make it your own. That's the best way to get the most out of this psalm today. Thank you. We're going to pray for you. And if you'd like a prayer request, send it to me, bspread49@gmail.com, or private message me on Facebook. Tony and I will pray. We'll ask the church prayer team to pray. God bless you. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.